Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. My name is Chad Medved. This is my podcast. Appreciate you being here as usual. First thing is first, we got some stuff to talk about. Got a couple events coming up. You know, the boys making some shit happen. We're doing some stuff. And if you're looking for some fun stuff to attend, this week, Saturday, November 4th, I will be at South Point Town Center to celebrate with the rest of this horde of Yinzers for the Great Yinzer Tailgate. The Great Yinzer Tailgate is a free event. There's going to be 30 plus food trucks there. There's going to be all kinds of people that are selling a lot of cool stuff. There's going to be all sorts of different figures throughout the city that I'm sure you're familiar with. And what I'm going to be doing, they hit me up and they were like, hey, we heard about your podcast. Why don't you come up and interview some people? We're going to have a bunch of funny people up here and, come up and get some content. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head out to the Great Yinzer Tailgate November 4th. I'll probably get up there around 1 p.m., but it starts at 11 a.m. There's all kinds of, vendors up there. It's right at South Point Town Center, right over the hill from the I'll Call You Right Back studios. So I will pop up there. And what I'm going to be doing is bouncing around the event with a microphone and a camera. And I'm going to be interviewing some of the fine folks at the Great Yinzer Tailgate. And if you got nothing going on this Saturday, why don't you come out and hang out with us? It's for a good cause. Mel Blunt, a Steeler of the past, one of the great ones. He does a lot of great work with underprivileged youth, with his farm that he has. I believe, technically, I think it's out Cecil. I don't know exactly what town it's in, but what he does is he has this farm and he brings kids in and they get to experience horses, farm animals, that sort of lifestyle, and it's a great thing. I'm excited to learn more about it. I hope I can talk to Mel. That guy's he's a legend, right? I'm excited about it. November 4th, Saturday, South Point Town Center. If you got nothing to do, head on out to the Great Yinzer Tailgate. Going to be all kinds of people there. You got Steelers Jesus, you got the Berg Bus, you got Matt Light, and you got I'll Call You Right Back podcast. So I hope to see you there. And if you cannot make that event, have no fear. We got some other great stuff coming up. December 9th is the cookie tour down in Lawrenceville. I don't know how many years this has been going on, but I believe it's around 2023 maybe. But the good people of Lawrenceville hit me up. They were like, hey, we heard about your podcast. We would love to work with you and help getting the word out for the cookie tour that is happening December 9th and 10th down in Lawrenceville. What is the cookie tour, you're asking, I'm sure. Let me tell you, because, personally before this, it's crazy. We live in this city forever. And as a podcaster, of someone that is trying to shine some light on some of the people that are doing great things in the city, it blows my mind on how many different people that I've never heard of, or how many things that I've never heard of. The cookie tour is one thing. Like I said, it's been going on for over 2 decades, and I've never heard about this thing. And what it is, it's basically a 30-block long cookie table. And the reason behind all this is it's basically a way to bring people into Lawrenceville to celebrate the community. And these are all different businesses, all different people that are down in the community of Lawrenceville, a lot of different businesses. You got stores, you got people that are selling wares, you got food stores, you got all sorts of places down there. And what they do is they open their businesses, they put up a cookie table. And the reason being is, like I said, there's so many places that are in this city that we've never heard of, and I'm sure that you've never heard of. And just as I was going down the list of vendors that participate in this cookie tour, it's places that I've never heard of. And I'm like, I've been in Lawrenceville hundreds of times. I've lived in this city my entire life, and these are places that, I still have not had the opportunity to hear about or see. And it's not even stuff, it's stuff that I would be interested in. And I just don't know. It's right under my nose. So what I'm excited about, you go down December 9th or 10th, you find some parking. They got 2 trolleys to help get you back and forth to the event. And you just get to walk around and you get to walk in all these stores, and it's a reason to go and check out all the cool stuff that these people have in these stores down in Lawrenceville. It's a good reason to patronize small businesses and grab some cookies along the way. You bring yourself a Tupperware, you go grab a cookie or two, and you go buy some cool shit from a great small business. I'm excited that Lawrenceville reached out to me to work with them on trying to get the word on about this, because it sounds like something that I'm very interested in. I mean, like, it sounds like something that I would be very interested in. So I'm excited to participate in it. You know what I mean? My wife is excited. Who doesn't love a cookie table? Best part about our tradition is a Pittsburgher, right? I'm excited. December 9th and 10th, one more time. The event starts at noon, goes till 5 p.m. Get your babysitters. Actually, you don't even need babysitters. You can bring your kiddies along. You know what I mean? There's no excuse. December 9th and 10th. Come celebrate the holidays with us down there in Lawrenceville. Now, speaking on Lawrenceville and how cool Lawrenceville is, my guest this week just happens to be a worker that works in Lawrenceville. Mr. Grooming and Goods is a fantastic barber shop, one of the most well-known in the city, one of the highest regarded in the city, and one that I have been personally patronizing for almost a couple of years now. I heard of Niles DeVinney from a couple friends of mine. I saw that that's who they were going to. They had some fresh fades. They had a fresh lineup, and I was like, damn, son, where'd you get that at? And they were like, yo, I saw Niles down at Mr. Grooming and Goods. And I was like, all right, I'm going to have to go check it out. So I hit him up and I made an appointment, and I never looked back. I am and actually Niles is a great friend. What we do now, this is our move. Don't take it. Me and Niles plan to go to Oak Hill Post in the morning, and then we go get a haircut. I get a haircut once a month. We try to make that happen once a month. Little pre-Mr. Grooming and Goods Oak Hill trip. And then I go get a fresh fade from Niles. You know what I mean? There is nothing better. I'm telling you. He's a great guy. And I was like, why haven't I talked to this dude yet? I've only talked to one barber, and it was like 4 years ago. And me and him are chatty Cathy whenever we're getting our haircuts, or whenever I'm getting my haircut, rather. It's like we're talking our ears off about all kinds of cool shit. And I was like, why haven't we had a podcast? Because I want to learn why this dude is a great barber. I want to hear what made him decide to be a great barber. And, it's funny. I've known him for a couple years. And if you think about your barber or your hairstylist or, people that provide you a service in which you're there a decent amount of time, you usually have that opportunity to, talk to these people. And it's always a bonus whenever you get someone cool that you could relate to, you could talk with, and you could just kind of, cut up with while you're getting cut up. No pun intended. But great conversation this week. A wild one, if I do have to say so. We're talking about his trajectory on how he became this great barber that he is, and the process along the way. And in that process, we talk about his schooling. We talk about why he chose to go to beautician school, which allows you to do, more than just cutting hair. It allows you to do coloring, things like that, perming, all things like that. And, the differences between barbering and working in a full service salon. But in the midst of all this, Niles was like, oh yeah, my house got raided because I was selling a bunch of weed, and I went to jail. So we dive right into that story, you could be sure. And it's a great conversation. So enjoy the episode. Without further ado, episode 261 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Niles DeVinney.
I gotta use the telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast.
You had that one yet?
Sparkling prickly pear lime. I have not.
Dude, I just got it for the first time the other day, and it pleasantly surprised. I just got it because it was new. I just saw it, and I was like, you know what? I haven't had this one yet. Let me try it. And I think it might be my new favorite flavor.
Well, I don't understand, there's Celsius, and then there's like, what's this Oasis vibe?
They got the tropical vibe one too. Did you ever have that one?
Nah, I'm new to it. Like I was off energy drinks from December 31st, 2022 to like I haven't had energy drinks for a long time, and then we went to that festival, and that's the first energy drink I had in like 6 months. I had one of these, and people were like, dude, they're going to get you tuned up like one of these Celsiuses. And I was like,
did it?
I was like, geez, all right. So it was, I drank it, and no, it didn't. Dude, I feel like
you drink coffee every day.
Yeah, it's 100% like caffeine doesn't really, I could literally drink a pot of coffee and fall asleep.
I'm the same way. Like I can't, I'm not one of those people that can like, that has to worry about like what time of day you're drinking your coffee. You know
My
what I mean?
brother is like that.
Like
My
people
brother,
are like, oh, it's after 6. Like I have no more coffee. Or I won't be able to go to bed.
if he drinks a coffee, I think he said at like 10 a.m., he'll be up for like 48 hours. And I'm like, dude, I wish. Like,
That's insane.
If I'm like, like very rarely will I have a time where I'm like falling asleep at work. Like it hasn't happened to me since I like, went to college.
Right.
And I'm just like a morning guy, but if I'm dragging ass, I'll drink a Red Bull and it won't do a fucking thing.
Your heart rate's just like a little increased, and that's it.
It's just like you're just like, this did nothing except I'm poisoning myself with this energy drink, and it's not helping me stay awake at all. It's just like if I'm closing my eyes, it's like I'm sweating kind of.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it sucks.
And they make me have to piss a lot too. That's another thing.
Yeah, it's like a natural diuretic. You're like, it's just drying you out. So I get nothing from this. You know what I mean? Like my buddy's like,
you're just in it for the flavor. That's it.
100%. Like my buddy was prescribed Adderall for some years, and he just he wanted to get himself off of it because he just didn't like how he felt, and he converted to drinking these Celsius. He's like, I have 2 a day, and I'm like, does it even?
I think
do
there's
anything?
actually a warning on here that says like you're not supposed to have more than 2 a day. Do not exceed 2 servings per day. Yep.
Well, I'll be sure to let him know. But yeah, Celsius is good. Let me get a sip first. Sparkling prickly pear lime. That's good.
It's a good balance.
Yeah. Do you like a tropical flavor?
Typically I go for the peach mango green tea, which isn't even a sparkling one.
Yeah. I like that one. Like
just because I'd be burping a lot when I drink them sparkling.
Yeah, sparkling water. You're on your feet all day, dude. I'm wearing a hat today because tomorrow is our appointment, and I'm shaggy right now.
It's time.
It's time. Like my beard line is like it's out of control. My sides of my head are out of control, and this is a long overdue conversation. How long have I been getting cut by you? Maybe 2 years now.
It's been a minute at this point.
Yeah, because it
at
had to
least
be
a year. I don't know if it's been 2 yet, but it's been at least a year. I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's good because I keep coming back. So you are at, what's the name of it now?
Mr. Grooming Goods.
Is it just Mister now?
We're dropping the Grooming Goods.
Yeah. So it's just Mister.
We're just about to go through some rebranding. I don't know if I'm supposed to say a whole lot about that. But
okay, that's fine.
I don't think it's like a secret or anything, but we're dropping the vowels in Mister and just getting rid of the Grooming Goods, trying to go for like a way more like inclusive vibe.
Yeah.
Rather than just like a dude vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, your logo
we're in
is like a
Lawrenceville,
guy
too.
like me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that makes sense. I guess that's like the progressive way to look at things. And it's like, from a business point of view, whenever you originally told me some of this, I was like, huh. I mean, like you've been established, like the brand has been established for some time.
Yeah, 10 years. We just had our 10-year anniversary party.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like right down in Lawrenceville, like in the thick of it, and to rebrand to be kind of like up to date with the times. Why wouldn't you do that as a barbershop? Do you even call it just a barbershop?
I mean, I think it would actually just be called a barbershop. It's not a salon by any means. You know what I mean?
Because salon
does like color and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'm actually a trained beautician, cosmetologist.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into all this. Yeah. I talked to one other barber in my tenure of doing this podcast, and this was a long time ago, and he just started. So it'll be cool because like, how long have you been doing this now?
10 years, 11 years actually.
Yeah, a grip. Like
yeah,
you've been in it for a while now. Do you have scissors tattooed on you? Is that like a rite of passage? Because
on the knucks.
yeah, you got a barber pole. You got some cuts.
like a joke Instagram page talking about how funny it would be if like other professions got shit like that tattooed on them.
Every person I know who is
Like
a barber,
like if
or
you were a
anything,
plumber and you had like plumbing
a monkey wrench
exactly.
on there. That would be good. Like a chef always gets a chef knife on there.
That's another thing too. I guess chefs do that.
Yeah, but I was looking at a lot because pretty much everyone down there has tattoos that I could like just
Everyone,
see.
I think, except for Will.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I remember I asked you. I said, "Is it a uniform to wear black here?" And everyone was wearing black, and you were wearing like a teal colored shirt. But so you've been doing this for a minute now, and it's long overdue. But I want to rewind a little bit because, like, I know about like you now. I know what you're into now.
Right.
I know that you obviously are a barber now. But I'm kind of curious about like where you came from and how you kind of fell into this trade. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Williamsport, PA.
And how far is it from here?
Technically, that's like the bigger area around there. But I grew up in Montoursville.
Montoursville.
Yeah.
And it is no affiliation with Montour up by like Robinson?
I don't know.
Okay.
As far as I know, it doesn't.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that. Montoursville.
Yep.
And
Montoursville.
what
That's where
was
Mike
your high
Mussina's
school?
from, actually.
Who?
Mike Mussina. He was a pitcher for the Yankees.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Small world. That's the claim to fame.
Yep.
How, like where did you go to high school? What was the high school?
Montoursville High School. Montoursville Warriors.
We were the Warriors too.
Nice.
Elizabeth Forward Warriors, not that progressive nowadays, but what was your graduating class?
Like 160.
Okay,
So not big, not huge.
Well, we were like 230, and like to me, I feel like it was just like a decently sized school. But then you hear about other people having like 700.
People that like don't know everyone in their graduating class.
It's
I knew
insane.
everyone.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if I would like enjoy that sort of like campus vibe. You know what I mean? Like even whenever I went to college, I was never really like a big campus type of vibe. I wanted to be like in a small hands-on environment.
Right, where you actually like see familiar faces and shit like that.
100%. So like in high school, what kind of shit are you into? Because like I have no idea where you could be with
I was a
this.
scene kid in high school.
Okay, yeah.
I was like into the emo music, and like then that like transferred over to like hardcore and shit like that.
Love
Going to
it.
Lots of concerts and stuff like that. We were like, me and my group of friends. I don't know if you remember when like scene kids would wear like girl pants because you couldn't get like skinny jeans yet.
Brother, I was in it as well.
Me and my
How old
friends.
are you?
The 34. I had to think about that for a second.
Okay,
34.
yeah, I'm about to turn 34 as well. So it's like we're the same age, fall into the same thing. But the girl pants thing is hilarious.
That was a big deal when it first happened because,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from a small town, excuse me, conservative.
Yeah.
So all these kids start coming to school in girl pants and everyone's like making fun of us. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
100%. That's exactly how Brian, one of the first
very
people,
much that vibe.
Brian Skagline, one of the first people to, we kind of fell into that like scene skateboarder type of crew where, I probably would be wearing them too if I wasn't a portly fellow. It was hard enough to find it, but the only ones that I got from Deb. They were like jeggings, jean leggings, and I wore them, and I was like, I can't pull these off. It just couldn't work. But we were very much the scene thing. Like, did you have music scene out where you were?
A little bit. There was definitely like I remember that we had like a small fire hall. There was a place called the Ritz Theater. It was just like an old movie theater. They would have like hardcore shows there. So there was
Ritz.
definitely like a scene for emo and like more hardcore style music for sure.
How do you think you fell into that? Like, do you have someone that like puts you on to good stuff, or is that just like something you happen upon yourself?
I think just the group of friends I was hanging around. And
Yeah.
they also had the ground floor there, which was a venue that had shows every single weekend. So every like
Ground
Friday
floor.
and Saturday, me and my friends would just go to the ground floor and hang out there.
Yeah, that's probably like our equivalent of like Octane, maybe. It wasn't like I assume it from what you're saying. The ground floor, I feel like it's just like an open room with just like a stage. Was it nice?
It was actually a little nicer.
Oh, nice.
It was like in the basement of a church.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was like the type of place where like if you would get a bloody nose moshing, they'd
Yeah.
give you a free Red Bull.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. Welcoming. Like,
Yep.
yeah, you're welcome here,
You
even though
earned
that
this.
happened. Yeah, that's one thing. Were you a moshing kid?
I mean, yeah, when I was younger for sure.
Yeah, you got in it.
Not anymore.
Were you one of like the violent emo kids that was like wanting to fight people?
Not like I definitely didn't lean that like to the hardcore side with like the crowd killing and stuff like that.
Crazy.
I liked the music, but I wasn't in there like
I was in the
getting
back.
violent. You know what I mean?
No way. Then people doing the lawnmowers where like one dude's grabbing a person's
Literally
leg and
just
swinging
trying
them
to
up.
hurt people.
Yeah, hurting people, kicking women in the head, and I'm like, geez. Like, but like they love it. They're
And
like,
you can't even get mad about it
I
either
know.
because you like get pissed and then you got a whole crew of dudes on you.
Well, you know what you're getting into. Like if you're up there, you know what you're supposed to be getting into.
Exactly.
But so I mean, like in high school, what kind of things besides being seen are you into? Like, are you like did you do
I played
well in
baseball for a while.
Oh,
I played baseball
nice.
for like 10 years.
Wow.
But eventually just like
fell out of
probably
it?
like ninth grade, I think I stopped.
Yeah, that's the fork in the road where you're like, am I going to be cool or am I going to
I did
try
like
to play
wrestling
school?
for a little bit, did
Yeah.
football, but like none of it really stuck. You know what I mean?
What was like your like passion back then? Like what was your hobby?
Honestly, just chilling
Chilling?
with my friends.
Just
I
chilling?
BMX bike, just chilling, man. I BMX'd a lot too, so we had like dirt jumps near my hometown, so we would ride bikes all the time.
Wow.
Ride literally like thinking about the fact that I would hit tabletop jumps.
Yeah. And like thinking about
Trying
it right
to do
now,
that
if you
now,
do it,
like,
you're
dude,
"Nah,
I would
man."
be breaking bones for sure.
Yeah, my buddy had he always had a mini ramp and like I would always try to drop it and I would just immediately slam on my shoulder and it's
Right.
like I would never do that now. My collarbone would snap. It would be terrible. But that just goes to show you how malleable we were as children.
Yeah, like you can smack yourself off of a dirt ramp and you get up and you're fine.
Yeah, just like wild animals. Were you guys having like field parties and shit like that on the weekends?
I mean, definitely like a little later on,
Yeah.
once we got into high school and stuff, we'd
Yeah.
always be partying.
I feel
somewhere
like
on
it's
the
similar
weekends.
feels like how you're describing how you grew up feels very similar to how we did.
Yep.
But I guess I mean it two in the same, right? So what happens? Like, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say like hair was never something that I like thought I was gonna do growing up.
That's literally what I was just gonna say. I was gonna say at this point in time, while you're like in the music scene and you're like just chilling, kind of, you're specializing in chilling. What was like your idea of what you were gonna do after
Dude,
high school?
Not a clue. Not a clue.
You really had like you didn't have like a hopes and dreams like I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Nope, nothing, none of that.
It was
I mean,
just
when I
like
was a kid,
an
my parents
empty
asked me
brain.
what I wanted to be when I grew up, and they told me I could literally be anything, and my answer was an alligator. So.
An alligator. Well, here's hoping. Well, so like, how do you kind of come to that? Like, you know, like what happens when you're like graduating? Like, do you
So
come
I
from
got-
a family that is like you got to go to school or something like that?
I mean, not really. My parents always pushed it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But what happened was my mom got a job at a college campus.
Oh, okay.
So because she worked there, I could go to college tuition free. Penn Tech in Williamsport, Pennsylvania College of Technology.
Yeah.
So I did go there right out of high school, but just for like general studies. And
You didn't have any idea what you were going to do.
not a clue. Not
Yeah.
the
You're just
slightest.
like, we're just going to figure this out.
Yep.
Is that like a place that like you could do welding, like culinary,
Yeah,
like
all that
okay,
stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
technical school.
But I was just going for general studies because I really didn't know. So I was just like, I had the free option. So I was like, I might as well. I'm not going to put myself in a bunch of debt doing it.
Yeah.
So I'll see what it's like.
Yeah.
Did one semester and dropped out. And then just went and worked like landscaping jobs, like janitor shit, like just a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing I ever like enjoyed, but it was like a paycheck. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you're like 18, 19 at this time?
Yeah. 17. I graduated 17. So,
Yeah, and you're just miserable about it.
yep. I mean, I didn't really care at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because on the side, I'm like chilling with friends and all that stuff.
Yeah, but it's like you're doing I remember working like, you know, doing like construction, like being a gopher, like just grabbing and cleaning shit up. And I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like I was a janitor for a couple years at a machine shop.
Yep.
And it's just like, why am I cleaning adults' chew spit off the ground? It's like, what am I doing with my life?
Yep.
That's basically how I felt. But I mean, when you move beyond that though, you know, like how do you kind of, you know, figure out, I got to figure out my shit.
I realized that when I got busted for selling weed.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I actually started going to hair school before I got busted, but there was definitely a period there where my main source of income was marijuana.
Well, besides the weed and stuff like that, where does the idea of wanting to even cut hair come into play?
I was dating a girl from Pittsburgh, actually.
Oh, okay.
Her name's Shannon, and she was just like, you should try out hair. Just give it a shot. You like have the freedom to be who you want to be. You don't got to put on this like fake bullshit, like suit or like attitude every day.
Yeah.
And like that appealed to me. So I think within like a week, 2 weeks, I was at the beauty school applying and enrolled in beauty school to do that.
You were an easy sell.
Yeah.
Like you were just, all right, we'll try it out.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, you've never cut hair before that or anything?
Never.
I love it. You're just like, fucking, I'm doing
Yep.
it. Well, so you were just selling weed?
Yeah.
What type of level?
I mean, it started out on a small level,
But then it graduated to a bigger level?
but it grew and grew and grew. And then, like, next thing you know, me and my buddies are getting like pounds upon pounds sent in through the mail.
And
We're
how
sending
long is
thousands
this?
of dollars back in the mail.
How long is this?
That went on for probably 3-ish years.
Wow.
Before anything bad happened with that.
And this is like when you're like 20 years old?
21, 22, somewhere around there.
And this is just you probably.
Actually, no, because probably like 19 to 22.
Yeah. And this is just because like probably, as a regular kid, you're smoking weed and then you're like, I'm going to sell it,
Yes.
And like, I want to smoke it for free.
Exactly. The whole, I
and
wanna
then it
smoke for free
graduates through
thing.
there.
And then next thing you know, it's like your buddy has a guy that can like send it out from California or wherever.
Well, now let me ask you this, because I've definitely known people to do the same thing, but like I was too much of I was too afraid to ever do anything like that to get in trouble. That's why I never drank.
Right.
Is because I was terrified of my father. That's like the root of me being, somewhat tame. I feel it's just like, didn't want to deal with it.
Right.
But I have friends that have done this stuff, like mailed shit through like furniture and like, done all this, like, so I hear all these like crazy stories, but like, what makes you want to even think that you're like, I'm going to get away with this?
I don't think I ever thought I was going to get away with it. It's one of them things where you're just like waiting on the shoe to drop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're either going to find a way out because of whatever XYZ reason, which doesn't happen very often, I don't think.
Yeah.
Or you're going to get busted for it.
Well, so you're doing this for 3 years and you guys are doing this. And like, how does this happen to you get busted?
Someone started snitching.
Oh.
Like a controlled buy situation.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to set it up here and you could just observe it.
Yeah.
That same situation happened.
I mean, there was
where
like
we grew
like
up.
13 of us on the case that
Oh,
I
wow.
was involved in.
Yeah. So like you guys were all like having a little unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And we got like our fucking house raided by
My
SWAT team.
goodness.
And like all
You
that
guys
shit.
were all living together?
Me and 3 of my buddies and my one buddy's girlfriend, we're all living together. We like rented a house.
Wow. So this was like an operation.
Yeah.
Wow. So what happens after?
It was an operation, but they also, because it happened in such a small town, they definitely made it like, they tried to make it like they were
The one.
The one.
Like,
yeah.
we found the kingpins here.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Like,
the best.
I think they actually had us in the paper as the marijuana mafia at one point in my hometown.
Wow, you should print that up and hang it right next to your
Honestly,
barbering
the station.
stall. How everyone has their shit there. That's so crazy because like we said, there was kids that I grew up with that like did all this wild shit, and it was like I would see it and like they would be getting money from it.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you take the forbidden apple? Because like I knew that like if I wanted to get involved with it, I definitely could have.
Right.
I could have had my pot and everything because like these dudes weren't even like personable, talkative people.
Yep.
I talk to people, but like I just knew that like you're gonna get bit, and like I just didn't want to deal with it. So like, what are the repercussions of you doing this? Like, because obviously, if you're doing it on that scale, I assume that you're not doing any like you're not fucking. If you were moving other drugs, it would be way more crazy than that. But
Right.
what's like the repercussions of you getting your house? Like, were you guys in there?
I was actually, excuse me, at work cutting hair that day.
You were cutting hair. You had no idea that this was happening. There
So-
was nothing hot, nothing happening at all.
I was at work cutting hair that day. One of my buddies that I was,
Man, I had no idea that this
So-
was happening in this story, and I'm so pumped that we're talking about this.
I was one of the dudes that I would like sell weed to. He was working for a lawn company, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm out doing some jobs by your house. Do you want me to like stop by and mow your lawn?" This was like October, like late in the year. So like, "Do you want me to mow your lawn one more time?"
With the wink emoji?
Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, absolutely. I don't want to mow the fucking lawn."
Yeah.
So then like an hour later, I'm just working, cutting hair. Like an hour later, I get a text from him, and he's like, "Dude, there's cops everywhere at your house." And I'm like, "What do you mean cops? Like, is there a fire? Is it fire trucks?" He's like, "No, like there's like drug dogs and shit like that."
Oh, fuck.
So that's how I was tipped off that was occurring at the time. And I just
My
like told my
goodness.
boss exactly what was going on. And she was like, "Yeah, leave. Get the fuck out of here."
Wow.
And then, I mean, the court system is just a joke. So my house got raided, and then it was like 2 years before anything.
Did you have a bunch of shit in there?
I had 2 pounds of weed in there when that happened.
Oh my God.
But the one thing I do laugh about is the fact that I had a safe in my bedroom, and I remember specifically keeping nothing in the safe except for my high school diploma, just for this moment exactly.
Yeah.
Being like, they're going to try and bust it in
And
the
they didn't
safe.
even touch it.
No, they did. My roommate that was there said that they spent a solid amount of time trying to bust this safe open.
Oh,
Got it open, and it was just my high school diploma, and that's it.
Oh, that is the best. What a sweet little cherry on top. So I mean, you obviously don't get in a lot of trouble?
No, I mean, I was in trouble when I was like I went to jail when I was 18 for 30 days for a probation violation.
Probation? Were you a wild kid?
No, not really. It's all weed related, dude. All like dumb weed shit.
So you went to prison? Like, what do you mean 30 days? Like, where did you go? Like a Schumann type of
County.
center?
Just county prison.
County prison for 30 days?
Yep, 30 days.
For weed?
Yep.
40 years just for weed?
Because I was on
Damn.
probation and I was caught with a small amount of weed on me, like literally like a dime bag of weed on me. My probation officer was like, yeah, send him to jail.
What was that like?
Boring, scary, FOMO to the max.
Yeah.
I got out of jail on my 19th birthday.
My goodness.
And we had the biggest banger of a party that night at my friend Adam's house.
Wow. 30 days for that. That's crazy.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So I mean, like, is that the extent of your like run-ins with the law? Like, what happened? So after you get your house raided, like,
yeah, back to that.
Yeah.
They sentenced me to 1.5 to 3 years in state prison. They offered me a boot camp program because I was a nonviolent offender to get out early. So I took that and did 3 months between county and state jail, and then did 6 months in the boot camp program and was out after that.
no fucking way.
Yep.
No idea about this, or no idea of all this about you. But so in there, what's a boot camp?
It's literally like a military boot camp for 6 months straight. You're just like being,
You're sleeping on location.
yeah, you're sleeping on location.
Where was this at?
It's Quahana, near State College, up on top of a mountain. It's like minimum security, no fences. They pretty much just like trust that you're gonna go there and do what you're supposed to do.
What's it like? The movie Major Payne?
Similar, very similar.
Oh my God, that's the best. Was it a terrible experience?
It was better than jail in ways.
Yeah,
It was
probably still sucked a little
more
bit.
entertaining than jail. It definitely sucked.
Yeah,
It's just like rough because you start out and they cut off all your communication with any family. So for the first like 30 days, you can't call no one, you can't get letters, you can't talk to any of your family. And then it goes in phases like green, red, and gold, and you just gradually start to get more and more leeway as far as like talking to your family and visits and stuff like that.
and
And then they give you a job, and I got lucky, so I was like on grounds crew, and I would just go outside and mow grass every day. But like I was lucky enough to where I could go outside every day because not everyone had a job, and two, if you did have a job, you weren't necessarily going to go outside. Like the worst job was to be stuck in the kitchen because then you're tempted with food,
Yeah,
and if you get caught taking food, you get in big trouble. Yep,
that's crazy.
yep.
So I mean, you do your time. You do your time in the pen. What happens after that? Like you were cutting hair already.
Yeah, I had already had a job here. I lived in Pittsburgh by that time.
You were in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. So like I got my house raided. Like I said, it took like 2 years for all that to happen. In that time, I moved out here to Pittsburgh because I had an ex-girlfriend that lived out here.
Yeah,
And then of course they tried to paint that like I was like
running.
Yeah, running.
You're on the lam.
Yeah, flight risk. Big flight
That's
risk.
crazy. How far is it away from you?
3.5 hours.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, like it's a significant way away.
Yep.
And like you don't tell them. Like, do you have like a PO officer? That you're like,
No, I don't have anything.
oh, okay.
I just have a lawyer at this point. And
Yeah,
that's it.
because nothing happened within 2 years.
Right.
How interesting it is because I interviewed a guy, never put this out. His name is Dos Noun. He is a well-known rapper throughout the city, currently in prison for weed. He got busted with like 400 pounds or something like that. This was like a whole big thing. Never put it out because there's like hearsay about like the stories of it all, but it was like 2 years after or something like that.
It takes a while. And then they postpone shit too. Like it'll be like the day of.
But he thought that there was nothing happening, and they were like, you know, in the process of adopting a kid and stuff like that. And then like he just got hit randomly with this, and now he's in jail for 5 years. Fucking nuts. It's currently still going on where, you know, wild shit's happening, but it's crazy that that's like how long it could take. So if you moved here, you're living a life here. Like how long were you here before you like heard something?
I'd say I probably lived here for a solid year.
That's crazy.
Close to it, at least.
So someone just hits you up?
I remember that day very vividly, actually, because my phone had died, passed out the night before. I got a dead phone. I wake up to my girlfriend at the time pounding on my door. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I answered the door. She's crying hysterically. Like, you got to go home. The cops called your mom. They showed up at your mom's work. This whole fucking ordeal.
My goodness.
And then I got to drive 3.5 hours home,
sweating
this the whole time. My lawyer told me you're not going to go to jail today. I did, in fact, go to jail that day.
That's terrible.
Yep.
So, oh my God. So after you do your time and you get out, do you still have a job?
Yeah, I went back to Regis.
Okay.
Yep, they kept my job for me.
That's dope.
Yep.
Now, I mean, like, after you're done, do you just like have any idea of anything else? You're just like, I'm going to just cut hair and keep it at that?
At that point, I was settled into cutting hair. Like, that was my career at that point.
You enjoyed it.
I had totally ditched the whole like selling weed lifestyle. I still smoked up until like getting on probation and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
where did you, so you went to Penn Tech and you got your thing done through there?
My hair?
Yeah.
No, I went to a beauty school in my
Okay.
hometown, Barone Beauty Academy.
Well, how do you do, like, so where does that mindset, like, how do you go from that going to that Penn Tech general education to just deciding on going to beauty school? Oh, that chick. Yeah.
Yes. The
oh
ex
my
that
God.
did hair that was like, you should try it
Just
out.
as simple as that.
Yep.
And
it stuck.
How long is the beauty school?
9 months.
And 9 months for you to do that. What's beauty school cost to do?
It's like
15 grand or something?
somewhere around the 15 to 20. Somewhere in that
I feel
range.
like I looked it up at one point. Yeah. 15 or 20 and like 9 months. And then in that time, is it broken up to like book work and then like.
Yeah. So you start out doing mostly just book work and theory and all that stuff. And then
Did you find that all interesting? Like, did you find yourself immediately like gravitating towards that?
yeah, I liked the
It's like alchemy.
I like the process of it. I never really enjoyed the process of color so much, but I always loved haircutting
Yeah.
and just being able to have a haircut in front of me and know what's about to go down for the next amount of time.
Yeah,
while
you have a
I'm
plan.
working. Exactly. Yes.
Well, what's your mindset as far as like going to a barber school compared to a beauty school? Because the beauty school, you obviously get taught in how to do like hair coloring and like perming and stuff like that, I would assume.
a little bit of everything.
And
yeah.
a barbering school is just,
We didn't have a barber school in my hometown. So it never even crossed my mind to do barbering school. Plus, I like and I'm not going to lie, when I was younger, I was like, oh, yeah, I get to work with chicks all the time. This will be awesome. So there was that aspect to it.
I guess
too.
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point too. So if you're going to beauty school and you go through and you graduate that, I mean, how do you get a job at Regis? Just a random place?
So
that was
when I got out of
hiring?
beauty school, the owner of the beauty school also owned a salon. So my first job was at his salon.
Yeah.
He hired me right out the gate, which was awesome because I went from being taught by my instructors that I like trusted and knew, like had my back and would show me shit, to working in a salon to where they were also working there.
Yeah,
So I still had people to like ask questions and refer to.
like mentors.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But then eventually I left Barone's and then went to Regis in the mall in my hometown. And then when I wanted to move out to Pittsburgh, I just transferred over from Regis because they're like a big corporation thing. I don't know if they are still anymore, but
Yeah.
at one point they were. So I just transferred out here and worked there.
Are you now at Regis? Are you doing like coloring and stuff like that?
Doing the whole fucking coloring, cutting, all that.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, we had a great crew at Regis, so everyone there was awesome. Some people I still keep in touch with from there.
But even besides that, like you said, you weren't even like real into like the color theory or the color of it all, like the coloring of the hair. But it's like, how do you make that decision to not just like, did you always know you wanted to do hair, like women's hair, like coloring or things like that? Like, what's your mindset about doing that rather than going to work at a barbershop?
I mean, I think I was just flying by the seat of my pants. I think I had just
figuring it out.
found something that I had liked enough to just stick with that and figure it out. You know
Well, I
what
feel
mean?
like you would also, I mean, if you think of it from a business aspect, doing cut and color is more expensive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like you can do more there.
So that was another reason too why it took me a while to like jump ship over to barbering, because everyone that does color is like, you're never going to make enough money. It's such a lower ticket price. You're going to have to do so many cuts in a day. So there's definitely like that, like little bit of fear instilled that like, I don't know if barbershop is going to be it for me because it's just a lower ticket price. And
Yeah.
You have to work harder to make the same amount of money.
Yeah, you're doing quantity over quality. So in lesser words, but
Right.
like, it's weird is I'm curious now in a salon, whenever I interviewed this dude who was a flight attendant, he was like, it's very stereotypical. He was like, the males that work in there, a lot of them are gay men. And is like, what's the stereotype of working at like a salon as a straight male? Is it more gay men or is it straight male?
In bigger cities, I feel like there isn't that stereotype.
Yeah.
But in my hometown, there definitely was, because I vividly remember a dude in the first salon that I worked at that said that I couldn't cut his hair because he thought I was gay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting because I assume that just like, I don't know, maybe it's my forward thinking that like flight attendants, there would be like a even amount, but he was like, not really. I mean, it's just more kind of a common thing now that it's like, more updating, like everything about our culture is like kind of updating a little bit. But, so you being a guy there, what was your experience trying to have a woman communicate what she envisions on her head to you and you be able to do that for her?
Stressful.
I bet it would be insane. I couldn't even
and
imagine.
like I said, I never felt like super confident in color. So I always felt like I was just like asking a coworker, like, how do I formulate this? What should I do?
Yeah.
Like I was fine at executing it, but like actually
the process,
color
like,
theory was
yeah.
never something that I fully wrapped my head around.
Did you fuck people's heads up?
Absolutely. Dude, I made my girlfriend at the time in beauty school cry when I tried to cut her hair when I was still in beauty school. And it's just like a lot of faking it until you make it. Like, especially when you start out, people come in and like, how long you been doing hair? And you don't want to be like, oh, a week.
What about like coloring? Like, so I envision someone being like, yeah, I want a bleached look. And it comes out being like orange as fuck.
That's why I hate color. It's all like, it's an educated guess. You're just like,
I feel like everyone's hair is different because
Exactly.
like, whenever I was getting my hair bleached, like my hair would come out like pretty much how you would want it to.
Right.
Whereas the other person who would get it done, it looked like that pumpkin.
a lot of it has to do with pre-existing color on the hair. So you have like girls that'll come in that have hair down to the middle of their back and you ask them if they've colored it before. And they say no because the box color they put on their hair was put on there 4 years ago.
Yeah, but they
that's
have.
still in there.
Yeah. That's an interesting
So
point.
then you slap that bleach on, and then like the first however many inches of her natural hair lift perfectly, like you said, and then
Yeah.
the ends are the color of that pumpkin.
Oh, because the ends are all colored already.
Yep.
Oh my God. What just a ridiculous thing. I feel like I have so much anxiety thinking of like, I think about my wife and like, I wouldn't say that she's like she's not like super nuts, but like when she tries to, explain what she wants with her hair, or like whenever people want like makeup, she's like, bring me a picture so I could like see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that, are you good at like, is that the best way to like kind of like see what these people want?
Yeah, for haircuts.
I would think so,
For
right?
haircuts too, especially. I don't know about color so much because so many things can be edited in like different lighting and stuff like that.
And that's what she says to them. She's like, this is Photoshop. This
Yep.
isn't real.
Yep.
And it's just like, God, it's like, I can't even think of some of the shit that you guys have to deal with. Now, your jump from being in a salon compared to a barber shop, where does that come into play out here? Why does that come into play out here? Because you were at Regis?
From Regis, I went to a place called Headspace.
Okay.
Which was on McKnight Road. Derek Pikarski and Jimmy Norge owned that at the time. I think now it's just Jimmy. But two great guys. Learned a ton from both of them. That was the first salon I worked in where I felt like I was like really elevating my career just with how much I would learn. Because they both worked for Wella, which was a hair color company.
Okay.
And they both were just real good at what they did. And they were
That was
always
a full salon?
Yeah, full
Okay,
salon.
yeah.
And they were like always having classes like in the shop and everything like that. So I just feel like I learned a ton there. And then from there, I just like started doing a lot more hair, like men's haircuts.
Yeah. Were you doing women's haircuts primarily before that?
Both, but primarily women's, I would say.
I feel like in a salon, it would be more women to do that. Like
Yeah,
a
for
guy's
sure.
gonna go to a barber shop.
But then
really.
it got to a point when I became the one, like Jimmy didn't want to do men's cuts anymore. And he
Yeah.
was like shoving them all my way. And like I just started doing more and more of them.
Well, what did you enjoy more doing while you were even in the salon? Like, did you enjoy doing men's cuts? Like, that type of haircut?
I think when I was at Headspace, I like learned a lot about pixie cuts, which is just short hair on women that is more feminine.
Yeah.
And I learned a ton from Derek about that. And I think I had like a new appreciation and love for
Short hairstyles.
short hairstyles, not even necessarily men, just short hairstyles in general.
In general, yeah. And how to accentuate them for different people.
Yep.
Well, when you're doing this and you're like, how are you progressing as, in your profession? Like you were saying, this guy does like classes and stuff like this in there. Are you still taking classes and going, because I have another friend who's a hairstylist. She works for like Sexy Hair and stuff like that, and I know that they send her to school.
Right.
So like, did you do any sort of like, after schooling after you get out of beauty?
Yeah, definitely like classes here and there, but like I said, Headspace, we were getting those classes from the owners of the salon.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
But also, I want to back up real quick.
Yeah.
A moment that I realized that I wanted to do men's hair and could do men's hair was when I was at Regis and I was getting cut by the Berg Barber. Some of you may know him.
The Berg Barber.
Yeah, if you look him up on Instagram, he's got like a pretty good following on there and everything. But he like cuts a lot of the Steelers and stuff like that.
Is that the dude who he posted a picture cutting Luke Bryan's hair, I think?
I'm not sure if that's him or not.
I don't know, one of them. I saw one guy, he's like, the country artists that come in, he like pops in on there and puts a reel out.
I think you might be talking about Dave, but I'm not positive if that's him or
Tomatoes.
not. But anyway, Wendell the Berg Barber, he put me on to trying out the Pittsburgh barber competition. And I was like, dude, I'm just a hairstylist. Like, I can't do barber work. And he like talked me into doing it. I entered the competition, ended up going to do that and actually taking first place. And that was the moment when I was like, okay, I can cut men's hair and I can like do this at a level where it's like at par with other barbers. You didn't
think before that though that you were anything to write home about?
No, definitely not. Because I didn't really like learn men's cuts either. Like a lot of my men's cuts up to that point was self-taught stuff because I went to beauty school. So we learned like the bare minimum of men's cuts. And then I got out of school and all my homies were like, yo, let me get this super tight fade.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how to, I wish I had pictures of some of them first fades I did because they were not fades at all.
Yeah, you just have lines.
Yep.
just disjointed sections and stuff. That's pretty funny to think about that. Well, so, I mean, in that moment you win that competition, it makes you want to like kind of hone in on that.
Yeah. I think that was like the big turning point when I was like, I want to do more, like a lot more of just short hair.
So do you look for a barber shop to work at?
Not until I worked at Headspace for a while. Like I did the competition when I was at Regis.
Oh yeah.
Then I went to Headspace, worked at Headspace for a while. And then from Headspace is when I decided like, I think I wanted to like take the barbering thing more seriously.
And what's your like mindset in that way? Like, are you like, I'm going to find a good, like a high-end barber shop around here?
Yeah, and Mr. was always in my mind because when I first moved to Pittsburgh, I walked past Mr. and like saw it and I was like, this place looks really cool.
Yeah.
Too bad I'm not a barber and I can't work here. So that was always like in the back of my head.
Interesting.
So then I went there and interviewed with them and that went great, obviously.
And I mean, when was that? What year was that?
6 years ago.
6 years ago you've been there?
6 years now, yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, for you to go from being to working in the beauty salon to primarily just focusing on barbering, what is like, what's your, how do you approach that? Like how do you like, if you think that you weren't good at it before, does winning that competition automatically flip a switch where you're like, I feel confident in this, I could do pretty much whatever?
I wouldn't say automatically, but it definitely helped.
Yeah, it gave you the tools to think like, all right, I can figure this out. Like, I'm not just like, completely faking it.
I'm not just some beautician that like thinks I can cut men's hair.
Well, did it work in the beginning? Like whenever you went to, like, were you successful in the beginning with Mr.?
Mr. was just a shock to me purely because of how busy it is there.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, I went to my interview and like they're telling me how booked I'm going to be. And I think that's just them like trying to get me in the door to come work.
Yeah.
But then like my first day and every single day since then for 6 years has been back-to-back clientele nonstop.
Yeah, it's nonstop in there. I've never been in there where it's, I mean, well, whenever you like take me before you open, like obviously is a nice treat, but it's crazy. It's
crazy enough to where I thoroughly enjoy those moments in the shop where like I get that like little bit of silence and like cutting your hair before the shop opens sometimes. Like,
yeah, that's
chill vibe's nice sometimes, but I do appreciate the hustle and bustle of it all too.
Yeah, like running that rat race, it's probably just goes quick throughout the day, and that's like, I seriously contemplated it for a while just because like the whole craft of it, having that different conversation with everyone, you have all these different conversations with all these different people. And it's so crazy because it's like, I'm sitting there and like, you'll see Doug pop in, Doug cooking, and good old Doug just popping up. We were on the same schedule for a while, but now, I mean, like, what's like, in that moment you get to that new barber shop. Okay. like, what's your mindset as far as like your goals professionally? Like, is there a thing to work towards, or is it just like, I want to feel comfortable in here, I want to like put my roots down in here a little bit?
There's always been the goal of like potentially opening up a barbershop.
Yeah.
But that's all, I'm always back and forth with that. There's always the aspect of like needing a decent amount of money to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm just like
emphasis on the decent.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah.
But I'm real content at Mister. I like being busy. I love the people I work with. Everyone there's awesome. We're literally like a family there. I mean, we're together how many hours a day?
The vibes are good in there.
The vibes are good in there for sure.
Vibes are on 1,000. I got criticized on Reddit the other day.
Mike and Heather, the owners of the place, are amazing. I can't say enough about them. They're just great people all around.
I got to get them on too, because it's like they've been killing it for sure. It's definitely wild. So you being there, it got to be a good place. You've been there for 6 years, and you're putting your roots down there. In that time of being there, is there a way for you to are you furthering your education there? Or is it kind of just like hands-on, in the field experience?
They have classes there. They bring in people from time to time, and they have classes like in the shop, whether it's like product knowledge or hair cutting or any of the above. Also, hair shows are fun. I haven't been to a hair show in a minute.
Yeah,
but they're good for like extending your education and just growing as a barber or hairstylist or whatever as well.
You got a really great selection of products in there.
Yeah, the whole wall of them.
Yeah, it's a good selection. There's a lot of beard stuff in there too. I enjoy it. Is there anything about like cutting that you are not like that you don't like doing? No. Like as far as like types of cuts or anything like that you think you're not like proficient at?
For the most part, I feel like I'm at a point in my career now where I feel confident tackling whatever sits in my chair.
Yeah.
Black hair, I still feel a little iffy about from time to time because I don't have a whole lot of black clients. But if you're listening to this and you're black, come see me because I'm trying to like sharpen them skills a little bit too.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple. I just, like I said, don't do enough of it to where I'm like super confident in it. But by no means am I like fucking anyone's hair up. You know what I mean?
Well, that's good. I would hope not. I mean, well, while you're like people coming in that are having like new clients and shit like that, how do you like if someone's describing something to you, do you ever have a point in time where you're like where you can't visually put it together what they're trying to describe?
Absolutely.
What happens in that time? Like, do you ask them like, I don't understand? You just got
to ask more questions. Tell them you don't understand.
You're like comfortable with saying that, and like you're not one of them that's like, I'll get it fixed up, and like you're just like, kind of scrambling and hoping it comes out.
No, I feel like I always try to figure out a good idea of what the client's looking for before I just dive in.
Yeah. Do you have any wild client experiences?
There's definitely some wild client experiences.
Like, do you have people that come in and just ask you for wild shit that you like? Do you ever turn anyone away?
I've never turned anyone away.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Do people ask you for like designs and shit like that?
I've been doing some spider webs for Halloween.
I've been doing some spider webs. That's sick. I feel like I would... I used to get steps in my hair, and I like that, but I feel like that would be fun to do. Try to do like, some artwork in there. You see people getting buck wild.
I don't do anything crazy. I can do like basic lines, and like I don't want to do... like people ask me for like the Pittsburgh P sometimes, and I'm like, I don't got it like that. Like I'm not that precise to where I can like replicate.
It'll look all fucked up.
It's going to look like the Phillies P before I know it. No one wants that.
Oh man, that's true. That would be terrible. So I mean, like you figuring this out, you trying to like make yourself I don't know, pretty much just like well versed in all these different things. How do you how do you deal with like, because like I feel like it's similar to tattoo artists. You have some tattoo artists that will not talk to you while they're tattooing, and like there's some barbers that won't talk to you, and there's some barbers that will, some tattoo artists that will, and you are someone who very much talks. Does that come with time?
It comes with time for sure.
Like in the beginning, I feel like that I would not be able just like, don't talk to me, I'm focusing right now. Is that like what it was like?
I feel like cutting hair in general has definitely made me better at like
being sociable.
The social anxiety is less now than it used to be because I just am forced to do it.
Yeah. Were you at one? Would you consider yourself have social anxiety at one point?
Nothing crazy.
Yeah,
but just like
it's a different type of like it's a different type of like
especially when someone's trusting you with the way that they look.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like you have 50 minutes of like if you're not going to just talk to these people, it's going to be weird. So you're
that's another
reading
thing
all
for
these
me.
people.
Like, I don't. If someone wants to be quiet during a haircut, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But it gets weird when like you can tell there's like conversation to be had, but it's not being had. You know what I mean?
It's not being had. Now, I mean, like, when is there people that like, you know, I'm sure there is, but it's like people you try to like have conversation and they're just like not having it.
I feel like 90% of my clients are returning.
Okay,
people.
yeah, I guess that's a good
So
point.
like I have relationships with most of my people.
How long did it take you to establish like a good book? Pretty quickly.
Once I came to Mister pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I do have clients that have followed me from. I still have clients that have followed me from Regis since
wow.
before I went to jail. Came to me after I got out, and then has followed me to Headspace and Mister as well.
Well, I mean, I drive a decent way to come in.
Dude, I drove out here and I was like, okay, Chad's committed.
Yeah, I come out here. You know what I mean? It's a decent little way to get down there.
Yep.
That's why I've been taking all them Sundays. But I don't know, dude. It's hard to find a good barber. Like as someone who, you know, I'm not a picky person at all. But I have difficult hair to work with.
Yeah.
I know I do.
It's straight as hell.
Yeah, it's like
Stick straight
a
out your
chia
head.
pet.
Don't
you
want to
know,
lay down.
It doesn't lay down. So it's like I go to the barber more often than a lot of other people. I would assume. At least I would ideally I would like to go once every like week and a half.
Right.
But you know I'm not driving to fucking Lawrenceville and I ain't got it like that. But it's like. To get a good barber is a difficult thing, and to like have someone who's like normal, like we go out to breakfast and shit like that. It's nice what we
Dude,
have.
I hang out with a lot of my clients too.
I know, but it's big, that talks a lot about who you are. But like, there's people, you know, I got my hair cut by other people before, like the dude right before I started getting cut by you. It's like a cool guy for sure, but it's like,
Right.
I ain't going to breakfast to Oak Hill with him. You know, it's just we don't get we're not the same in that way. But it's like it's a unique thing to be able to find someone who you can communicate with and that could visualize what you want and to not, you know, fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is beards like, is that a difficult thing for you to like to work with, people's beards?
I was nervous about learning beards when I first started there because I didn't do as much of them.
Yeah.
And I use a straight razor now, which I didn't use before.
I feel like it's unforgiving a little bit. A beard is unforgiving. Like the bottom neckline.
Yeah.
Like if you go up too far,
The beard's gone. Your
it's
length's gone.
Yeah, it's fucked. One time I had my guy cut off my mustaches.
Dude, I think I took your mustache too short the one time because the appointment after you were like, just don't touch that. And even when I finished doing it, I was like, I took that a little short, didn't I?
I don't know if I remember it.
Okay, I must not have done too bad then.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember that. I feel like I would have said it, but I feel like I don't remember it. Last time, whenever I said, I just wanted this long.
Right.
Yeah, but it wasn't about the mustache, but this dude straight up was like, you want to keep the mustache? And I was like, yeah, don't touch it. And he literally just yanked it right off and he was like, oh, man. And I was like, it's cool, dude. Don't even worry about it. But it's like, I don't know. What happens in that moment you fuck someone's head up? Like, you know, what happens if you have like a random like sneeze and you
just try not to react and just keep it moving. And
Just
my
keep
boy
it
Rocco,
moving.
I think of my boy Rocco. I hope you're listening right now because he knows this happened. But one time he's going to a wedding and I'm cutting his hair. He usually gets a 2 on the side.
Yeah.
I'm clipper over combing to blend it, and my clipper slips off the comb and digs right into the side of his head. So that day Rocco got a half guard instead of a 2 guard. Just
Oh
tightened it
my
right up.
goodness.
I didn't mention anything that day, but the next time I saw him, I'm like, "Did you realize it was a little shorter last time?" He's like, "Yeah, I thought it looked good," and I was like, "Okay, cool."
I think it's so funny to like in that moment, like you have that moment where you're like, all right, do I confront this and like call attention to it? Because like, has that ever happened where people are like, did you just fucking patch my head?
I've never had that happen, thankfully.
I was just watching a video on TikTok today. This little girl was cutting her dad's hair and the guard came off and it was shaving the back of his head. And he was like, what the fuck?
That just happened to a coworker the other day. Jason, he was shaving his own head and his 1.5 guard slipped off and he had a nice little triangle right in the back of his head.
That's just so it's so difficult. Now being someone who is like, you know, a hair engineer, you know, what do you look for as someone to cut your own hair? I mean, you always wear a hat. I very rarely. Why is that?
Mostly because I don't want to mess with it. Also, I just don't. I'm like, I got the recession going on.
Do you got recession?
Yeah, I got a widow's peak and some recedingness going on right there.
Well, you wear a hat all the time. I would never know.
It's laziness and that, a combination of the two.
Does that give you self-confidence, the recession?
The opposite.
What do you mean it gives you an opposite?
It takes away from my self-confidence because I'm losing my hair, bro.
Well, I'm not saying does it give you a boost of self-confidence. I was saying, does it fuck with your self-confidence?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's like a power move almost to be a barber with a bald head almost.
Right.
It's almost like a tattoo artist with no tattoos.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole different level of like, if you find a dope ass tattoo artist that has no tattoos at all, you're like, wow, you're like a wizard, man.
Yep.
You know, like you shouldn't be this good. But I don't know. That's interesting. It's interesting to like, you know, do you feel a certain level of, would it be more comfortable or more uncomfortable to cut other barbers' haircuts? Like,
I like cutting other barbers' hair.
I feel like
I feel honored when other barbers ask me to cut their hair.
I feel like you guys could speak to each other in a certain way. Like
there was a time though when I got nervous as hell about that.
I feel like that's a big thing. Like,
Yeah.
you ever cut the owner's hair? Oh no,
He cuts his own hair.
That's what you told me.
Yep.
You said the owner has been cutting his hair forever.
Yeah, he said he used to like cut his hair in with a CD, like using the reflection of the CD to cut his hair.
I got to get him in here. That's insane. Wow. That's pretty wild. So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but like opening a shop, opening a barber shop, it's like, is the only thing that deters you is obviously like, the money end of it all? Because, for instance, my wife runs this makeup business and it's pretty great. Antoinette Medved Makeup, if people were listening, but she likes the aspect of controlling, the scheduling, everything like that. Whereas there's other people that just send me the details. I show up, I do my job, I leave. You know what I mean?
That's the constant back and forth I have.
Yeah.
Because I'm comfortable and I'm happy as hell where I'm at.
Yeah.
And yeah, the money's obviously a hold up, but then there's also the aspect of like being your own boss and like you're running a business. So obviously you're not working any less. You're going to be like doubling how much work you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
And just like having people to work for me and the product and it's just a big cloud.
A cloud of anxiety that just keeps growing and brewing. Well, what happens with like, did you ever think of, I know that there was a time where people were doing just like a bunch of mobile barbering and it's kind of like, it's a premium service. So like you could charge more bang for your buck. Like, does that type of work ever come into your, like game plan, or is it, you like the vibe of like having your own station in there? I feel like you get good with, there's pros and cons to both of it.
Yeah.
Because if you're a mobile barber, you could just bop in and out, charge a little bit more, do what you need to do. But you being at Mister, it's like you have your little spot there. There's cool artwork everywhere. There's music playing. It seems fun in there. I guess there's good in both to it.
Yeah, I like that I have a set schedule there. So I got the same thing every week as far as what I'm working.
Do you like a trades schedule? Whereas, what's your schedule there?
I'm off Friday and Saturday. So I work Sunday to Thursday.
Yeah, see, that's great.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be fantastic.
That's the schedule I've had since I started there too. And working in hair, you usually don't have Saturdays off. So when I started there and they were like, are Fridays and Saturdays good for you? And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I guess that would be good. It's, me and Antoinette will always talk about how people are usually like, barber and hairstylists usually off Sunday and Monday.
Yeah. Cause a lot of them are closed Sunday and Monday.
Yeah. Like, but just like, I would love to be off a couple days during the week. We talk about that.
I do like having a Friday off.
Yeah. Like that's
I can
dope.
like run errands. If I go like hiking with the pups or something, like there's not a million people at whatever park we go to.
Yeah.
Just like less people out and about.
Yeah, a little bit less people because anywhere you go now, it's a little bit hectic.
Yep.
Now, besides for cutting hair, doing all this, like, what do you do for fun? Like, what are like where? I know you spend a lot of time with your dogs. Where does like your interests and your hobbies lie outside of work?
I'm a big homebody, that's for sure.
Homebody.
I feel like because too, I cut hair and I have a person in my chair every 30 minutes. Like a lot of times I get done with work and like
You're burnt out
my
with
social
talking.
media is just tapped.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to no one.
That's how Antoinette's probably feeling right now. She did a wedding yesterday, did a wedding today.
Yeah.
She called me right before that. She was like, I'm ready to be home.
So a lot of my time is spent just like chilling at home.
Yeah.
Watching movie, watching TV, playing video games. I hike a lot
Decompressing.
with the dogs, getting out with the pups a lot. And like
Yeah.
they're my homies, dude. Those
Yeah.
dogs are like,
Well, so when do they like now I love your relationship with the dogs because you're out pretty much all the time taking them. You rescued both of these dogs?
no, I rescued Augie, the brown one.
Where'd the other one come from?
I bought him when he was a pup.
From like a breeder?
Yeah.
Wow. And how old are they? You said the one's pretty old. Right?
Basky's 10.
10.
Augie, I don't know her age. I've been saying she's 5 for like 2 years now.
And like that's pretty much what you do. Do you say all your family lives back there, right?
Back in my hometown, Williamsport.
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours away. I mean, being someone, you've obviously been here a lot now, but it's like, do you see yourself moving out of Pittsburgh at all?
I mean, I have a nephew back home now, so he makes me think about whether or not I would want to move back to my hometown for sure.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't know that that's something that's going to happen for me for a long time down the road, if it ever even does.
Why is that?
I like Pittsburgh a lot. I got some roots here now. I've been here for 10, 11 years, so I feel like I got a nice little setup.
You guys are arguably the best barbershop in the city.
And I've thought about the fact that if I left my clients that I have now, I'd be bummed about that. I got some homies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you've been cutting hair this long, I mean, like just going to a different spot, I feel like it would be...
I would never. I ain't leaving Mister unless I open my own barbershop. That's the only way.
That's
or
good.
If they close down, so.
And then it doesn't look like that at all. Ripping in there all the time. All right. So what are your other like you said you watch stuff. Like what have you been watching? It's October. You been doing any spooky shit?
I've been watching Suits, dude.
Suits?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's been talking about it on TikTok.
I feel like it's one of them perfect storm things. How like everyone watched
Breaking Bad.
No, not Breaking Bad.
Ozark.
The pandemic one.
Better Call Saul.
No, the Tiger guy.
Oh, Tiger King.
Yeah, Tiger King. I feel like it's a perfect storm because everyone's like waiting on stuff to come out because of the writer's strikes, and Netflix just keeps shoving Suits down everyone's throat.
Oh, I guess that is.
I don't have a whole lot to watch, so one day I was like, "Fuck it, I'm
gotta watch The
Suits.
Fall of the House of Usher."
I've heard that a lot.
Dude,
I watched that new Talk to Me movie.
That was sick.
That was sick.
Loved it.
One of the better horror movies I've seen in a minute.
I loved it.
It had a good ending, too.
I put you on that in a minute. I've been telling you to watch that because me and Antoinette seen it, one of the first showings here, and now it's on streaming. People are starting to watch it, and they're hitting me up. They're like, it is fucking good.
It is.
A24 makes a hand that's like a incense burner, but it's actually a weed bowl that has a finger, and you hit out of the finger, and the hand has a little bowl in it.
That's great.
It's super cool looking. $100 though.
Yeah,
little
I ain't buying it.
Little bit steep. So that's a good one. What else about what about you'd been doing any other haunted house stuff? Like, do you do anything else?
I don't really do a whole lot around Halloween.
No.
I got to be honest. Like October is usually a rough month for me because my dad passed away in October.
And how long ago was that?
His birthday is also that was 5 years ago, like
5 years
October
ago.
9th. And his
I feel like
birthday's
I
the
didn't know
13th.
that.
I mean, I'm not closed off from it, but I don't like just bring it up all the time. You know
I guess
what I'm
so.
saying?
That makes sense.
But
October's a rough time though.
October's a rough month for me for sure.
Yeah.
And it's after like speaking about things I like to do. Raving, music festivals, concerts, stuff like that.
Raving.
I go to a big music festival every year in September, Lost Lands. So I'm like coming down off the high of preparing for Lost Lands and then go right in October, which is just a meh month.
Melancholy type of. Yeah. Are you a Christmas guy?
I love Christmas.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Thanksgiving too, just because of the food.
Yeah. I mean,
we all love eating holiday.
You just go back home?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Go hang out with my sisters, my mom's.
Man. It sounds fun. You think there's anything I missed about barbering? I don't know.
I feel like we covered a lot of stops there.
I mean, we're not done yet, but we have to. I mean, like we go into the ending segment that I do with everyone, but I just want to make sure. I feel like we covered the haircutting. Now, let me ask you this real quick. Now, as far as your tools, are you someone that's like gets into the weeds? Because my other buddy who's a barber, he's like,
I'm out of the weeds. Okay. I was in the weeds for a while.
This dude is like wearing he got like custom aprons, like the sick ass tools, all this shit, all that. Are you like one of them people?
I kind of was for a little bit, but not anymore really.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's less about the tool and more about the person using it.
Okay, that's good. Now, all right, let's get to the ending segment. The ending segment that I do with everyone is an ending segment called Desert Island Questions. All right on time. Ending segment that I do with everyone is called Desert Island Questions. Desert Island Questions, whenever I give each guest 3 categories to use whenever they're stuck on a desert island and they use it until they starve to death and die. First category is movies. 3 movies to watch on a desert island you get to take with you.
Number 1 is definitely going to be Sandlot.
Sandlot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic.
It's good.
Great movie. It's good me.
It's a classic movie. I watch it all the time, but it's like I feel like now I think about this often because that's a movie that's been picked a good bit. it's like it almost equates to A Christmas Story, where it's just like something that's such a staple that's been there for so long
Yeah.
that it's just like, all right, I get it.
Like if you haven't seen Sandlot, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I get it. It's just in there. You know what I mean? If you're not going to pick Sandlot, pick something else.
Okay, number 2 will be Superbad.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, one of the greatest comedy movies of all time.
It really is, and it holds up so well. It's because I'll usually try to go a couple years in between watching it.
Yeah.
And we watched it, I don't know, a few months ago. It was on Netflix or something.
There's so many good one-liners.
It really is just so good all the way through.
Number 3, we'll go Rocky 4.
Rocky 4. Is that the one with Tommy Gunn?
I think that's the one with the Russian. If that's not the one with the Russian, then that's the one that I mean.
Oh, you want okay, Ivan Drago. I never could remember which ones are which.
Now I'm curious. Can I look it up?
Yeah, go ahead, look it up, because the first one, he fights Apollo Creed. Second one,
No,
Rocky
Ivan
2.
Drago is 4.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who's he fighting the second one? Tommy Gunn might be 3.
Apollo is 2.
Tommy Gunn's 3 then.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ivan Drago's 4. That's such a wild thing to think about if you, because it's been a while since I watched the Rocky movies, but that's a good 4 run there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those were 3
For
good,
sure.
Those are good stories. Who did he fight in the first one if Apollo Creed was the second one?
I'll be honest. The Rocky movies all just blend together.
Yeah, I feel like I could never remember them all.
I feel like they were always on the TV growing up.
Yeah.
Between that and like not Sylvester Stallone, but
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to read his book. It just came out.
1 and 2 are both Apollo Creed, aren't they?
Oh yeah, number 2 is the rematch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's the one when he
rematch.
fights Mr. T?
That's my what?
We need to go back and watch the Rocky movies. Apparently,
It's been a long time. I do. I think I need to. Okay, that's good. What about books? Do you read books at all?
I haven't read since I was in jail.
Did you read in jail?
Yeah.
Was that something you did?
You have to do something to kill the time.
I guess so. What did you like? What were 3 books that you enjoyed?
I read the Harry Potter series when I was in jail.
Oh, it's on my list. I'm about to read it. Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it thoroughly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever read books before watching movies.
Yeah.
Like went in that order instead of vice versa. I also read the Ransom Riggs, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Oh yeah.
That series.
I
when
had a
was in
couple of
jail.
those books.
They're good. They're real good too.
Yeah.
They're like in that same vein as Harry Potter,
like weird
fantasy.
and goofy. Harry Potter meets like Willy Wonka.
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
And then a lot of James Patterson.
James Patterson.
Yeah, he just does like true crime, not true crime, but like detective, like mystery shit.
Oh wow. Interesting.
Yep.
Where does where does all the tattoos come from? When do those start to come into play?
When I started selling weed and had the money for him.
Oh, is that really what it was?
Yeah.
Huh. Love it. Okay. Third category, 3 CDs.
3 CDs.
Over and over again for the rest of your life.
I'm gonna pick Subtronics, Fractals. That's some EDM that I listen to, some dubstep.
Yeah.
Tyler Childers, the album that's like live.
Yeah. Live at it's a Red album.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
You want to go see him June 30th?
Not at.
Burgettstown?
I don't really want to go to Burgettstown.
I know it's such a pit. I don't want to go there either because it's going to be such a fucking pain in the ass to get there and to get back.
Yeah. And I'm also going to Electric Forest next year, and I think it's around that same time. And they haven't like put out the actual weekend it's going to be. So
You don't buy tickets to that yet? Tickets aren't on sale
they don't
yet?
come out until like January, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild one?
Electric Forest I've never been to, but I'm interested in that because it's like I go to Lost Lands every year, which is just a lot of like heavy dubstep.
Yeah.
Very high, or they're very like keen on the production of everything, like stage and
Lasers,
lights, sound, all that.
Electric Forest has all that like
Electric
weird like
Forest
design and shit, right?
They have like a lot of art.
Yeah.
So it's more like exploration.
yeah, so
and-
whenever you're tripping balls, you could just look at shit.
exactly, and a wider array of music. They have like a little bit of everything.
That's
they hit,
cool.
Like, all the stops with that. You know what I mean?
When you told me that there was that 24-hour silent disco, it almost blew my mind that people
24 hours just headphones
4:30,
on, just
5 in the
raging out.
morning, just like burn out, just like don't stop moving. You stop moving, you're falling asleep. That's good. Tyler Childers, the shit though, the man.
Yeah, he is.
He's the man.
Number
Okay.
3, I'm going to pick August Burns Red, Thrill Seeker.
Oh, that's good. That's good for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, those are good. Okay, third to last question, the death row meal. Getting put to death. You get an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. What is it?
I've been thinking about these, just so you know.
This answer?
All of them.
Oh, okay.
I listened to Storma's episode today.
Oh, okay.
No,
Oh, yeah. He
like,
told me, he texted me, and he was like, I'm pumped to hear his episode.
He's the most genuine human I've ever met.
I don't know if I've ever met anyone in Pittsburgh that's nicer than him. And I mean, like, I've never met a person that had a bad
I'm
thing
trying to
about
drag him to Lost Lands next year.
Oh, my God. We should all go.
Dude.
That's my
Buy a
birthday
ticket,
weekend.
bro.
June 30th is my birthday.
I'm always dragging.
Where's it at?
I'm always dragging someone into that shit. It's in Ohio. It's like 2.5 hours away.
Maybe we'll do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm turning 34.
Send it.
All right, we'll talk more about it. Going to that little festival just down in West Virginia, and like it wasn't even anything crazy. Like it was just fun to just camp somewhere and wake up and go again.
You're not on any schedule.
None.
You're just living.
Yeah, you're like, they don't go on until 5. It's only 11 a.m. I'm going to lay in this fucking hammock and read a book.
Yep.
And then I'm going to get up and eat something. Then I'm going to lay back down. And then I'm going to go do whatever I want.
Yep. No schedule.
Man, it makes you not want to go back to real life.
It makes going back to real life a
It
struggle
makes you
sometimes.
wonder. It makes not even wonder, but it makes you envious of deadheads that are like, that are just saying fuck it and living out of their van for 25 years. Just like, oh my God, I've been going down these crazy TikTok rabbit holes where this dude goes up to random deadheads, puts headphones on, plays like a second of them.
And they know.
He's like, what year was that? He was like, he's playing a little bit more jazzy, bluesy right now. I would say this is like 87 and it will be like 86, 87. And the dude's like, fuck yeah, I was there every night. And I'm just like, holy shit. And then the next one this dude went to, he was like, what's your best Grateful Dead story? And he was like, they were playing this show right then and there. And I was like 2 rows away and I was holding up my license plate and it said dead. And like, as this dude's telling this story, they overdubbed the video from the 70s of this dude like coming up on stage with his license plate. And it was just like, I'm not even a Grateful Dead dude. Like,
right.
But it's just like the energy of them.
You can appreciate
Dude, they're like juggalos. Yeah. It's like, it ain't my cup of tea, but they're living for it. That's passion, baby.
Yep.
Gotta respect that passion. Yep. That's good stuff. All right, Adam, you should go to if Adam goes to Electric Forest, maybe I'll go too.
Lost Lands, you mean?
Lost Lands?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Electric Forest next year.
We were talking about Electric Forest, but I was just talking about
you're going to get him to go to
I'm
Lost
always trying
Lands.
to drag one of my clients into Lost Lands. Last year it was my homie Parker.
Where's Electric Forest at?
Micah. Electric Forest is in Rothbury, Michigan.
Oh, so
That's a drive.
Lost
That's more of a
Lands,
drive.
2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
Okay. Lost Lands, it's more approachable.
Yeah.
Okay, death row meal. You get appetizer, a main course, and a dessert.
Appetizer. I'm gonna go with my mom's homemade mac and cheese.
Oh,
that's gonna be what we're gonna start with.
She goes off in the kitchen?
She goes off in the kitchen for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She does like the breadcrumbs on top, but they're not just like sprinkle breadcrumbs. She like actually like breaks apart bread.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's like real crispy on top.
Goes to the lengths.
I don't even know what type of cheese she uses, but it's delicious.
All right. That's good.
Main course, I'm getting a Big Mac meal from McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
Can't go wrong with a Big Mac.
Love McDonald's. Who doesn't?
I'm a McDonald's diehard.
Yeah, it's good. Yep. I mean, it sucks, but it's good.
It sucks, but it's good.
It's
and
good.
I just want to stuff my face if I'm about to die with.
We almost went yesterday.
Big Mac.
We almost went. It was either between because we were coming home late from the Berg Bus tour, and it was either between McDonald's. It was about to be Taco Bell, the new one at Bridgeville, but the fucking line was insane. Brand new over there. They're putting in Raising Cane's there.
Everyone's talking about Raising Cane's recently.
Dude, it's going to be crazy over there. But we were like, we can either go to McDonald's or Sheetz. We picked Sheetz last night, but it was good. McDonald's is a go-to, though.
Yeah.
You eat a lot of fast food?
Too much.
Yeah, it's too much. It's hard not to.
It is.
It's just so tasty.
Especially like if you just work a long day and the last thing you want to do is like worry about.
Like, dude, I'm not going to Giant
I don't want to
Eagle
put
right
thought
now.
into what I'm going to eat. I just want to shove stuff.
Do you
in
cook
my
at all?
face. Yeah, sometimes. I've been doing like HelloFresh here and there too.
Yeah, that's good. They make it easy, but it's
make
like
it easy, yeah.
Some days you're like, I ain't cooking this right now.
Right,
I'm getting
exactly.
a Big Mac meal.
Yep.
Okay, dessert.
Dessert, probably a piece of cheesecake. Just like some classic strawberry cheesecake.
Really?
Yeah.
It's picked on here so much, just like a piece of cheesecake.
Yep,
And then, like,
it's
that's
so
probably
good.
like I would say the low list for me. That's at the bottom of the list for me. There's just I mean, like
What's at the top of your list?
I'm like a chocolate guy. I love like you can do it, Bruce type of cake from Matilda. Like that's That's like
you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, like that's a
nice chocolate cake.
What I was trying to think of what to be for Brian Scagline's Halloween party, and I should have been that. I should have just been carrying around a piece of cake. Man, maybe I'll keep that. I'll put a pin in it for next year. All right. So the second to last question: you're getting ready to go to Lost Lands or Electric Force, whichever one of them. You're getting ready to buy a snack for the road trip. What is it?
Can I have like one gummy, one chocolate option?
Yeah.
Chocolate's gonna be if they got some holiday Reese's going on, it's going to be the holiday Reese's, whether it's like
an egg or pumpkins,
or the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
If the holiday Reese's aren't in, it's going to be a Snickers though.
That's good.
Because regular Reese's are fine, but the holiday ones,
they got more peanut butter.
Yeah.
I never cared about Reese's. I never liked the peanut butter in Reese's. I would still eat them.
Right.
I just didn't care about the peanut butter. But in my later years,
now you do.
I love it more now. A little bit extra peanut butter.
Yep.
Come on. Put it in the freezer for a little. Can't beat it. Okay.
And if we're going gummy snack, I'm going peach rings for sure.
Yeah, just the cheap ones. 2 for
like trolley. I like the trolley.
Back in the day, they were 2 for $1, but you
mean like the orange and yellow bags, or red and yellow, or whatever they are? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, like the generic ones.
They
you know
got
what I mean?
The thicker sugar on them too.
They're twice as bad for you, but they're so good. Okay, so I'm curious to know, to throw a wrench in this, what are some essential rave things that you bring with you that everyone should take?
Mango high chews.
Mango high chews.
Yeah.
Like the rehydration.
Yeah, my boy Mitchell put me onto those. He gave me one when I was at Elements Fest this year.
Yeah.
And I was like, game changer. Because before that, it was Pink Starburst. I had Pink Starburst on me at all times. But mango high chews are the move.
Wow. Wait, high chews is just a candy?
Yeah, they're just like chewy candy.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Okay.
They hit the spot.
All right, get that jaw going. Get something for that jaw.
Exactly.
Okay, so what else?
You gotta have your fanny pack.
Fanny pack.
I don't like a backpack because it's like too much on me.
Yeah.
I like the fanny pack because it's like small. I can put it over my shoulder if I want. I can put it around my waist.
You go to a lot of festivals. Like how many? You've been a lot.
I don't like go to a ton.
But
I've been.
You've been a goer for a while.
Yeah, so like I went a lot when I was younger to like Camp Bisco and like smaller fests, like you said you were just at, like around my hometown, a lot of stuff like that. But then took a long break, and then 4 or 5 years ago, my brother-in-law got me a Lost Lands ticket for my birthday, and that's like what got me back into it. And we've been going to that every year.
Fell off the wagon there.
Fell off the wagon for a little bit.
What's the best show you've ever seen live?
The best show I've ever seen live.
Yeah, I've been asking that to people recently.
I mean, that's a hard one. I like EDM a lot because like it takes out the aspect of like a show sounding bad.
If it's not EDM though.
Yeah, like aside from EDM.
Yeah.
I used to go to a lot of like, I used to be a diehard August Burns Red fan, so I would like follow them all over
Who
the
wouldn't?
place.
I swear, ask Brian about it. I told him I wanted to buy China and just put it in my front seat.
Dude, Unearth. Do you know who Unearth is?
Unearth?
Band?
Yeah.
I seen them live once, and them dudes just like literally like threw a party. Like they were like doing beer bongs on stage. The guitarist was like walking across the bar, dumping beers in dudes' mouths. Yeah. Like that was a party.
It's a good time.
But I mean, I don't know about the best concert I've ever seen or show I've ever seen. Lumineers. We're gonna say Lumineers.
Lumineers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. For like someone that's like singing and they have a band and all that, Lumineers were amazing. Because one, the dude can belt a tune out. 2, all of them are very like musically talented to where like they're putting down an instrument and picking up a new instrument between each song. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Zach Bryan, the country artist, his favorite band is the Lumineers.
I saw they did like a little like on stage collab or something.
Well, he was saying like, he was posting, all the time. He's like, the Lumineers are the best fucking band ever. And then on his new album, he got to collaborate with them. And I was just like, that's crazy. Like, so are you like new into the whole like Tao Childers and like Zach Bryan, or you been onto that for a while?
I'm like new with that. And I don't really know a whole lot of like music in that realm.
Me either. But
you just liked that one thing. That one dude, Coulter.
Oh yeah. Coulter.
Like, I never even heard of him before. I was just like,
Sleeping
I
on
had
a blacktop?
Tyler Childers on, and it
Yeah.
was just like what came on afterwards on Spotify.
I'll put you onto some stuff because I feel like that was he was my Feathered Indians. I had a moment to Feathered Indians. We were at a Deep Creek Lake house, and it was like 3:45. I woke up, and like me and my two buddies who were just fucked up. I was sleeping for like 6 hours by then. They were just absolutely out of their minds. We listened to Feathered Indians probably 15 times and just like dissected the song, and then I just immediately got lost in the world of that. So I've been listening to everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff that's
the
just
music
like
I put on when
untapped.
I'm driving out in the middle of the woods with the dogs. You know what I mean?
It's
It
so
just,
good.
It just hits different.
His
when
live
I'm in the
performances
woods.
are so good.
Old Appalachia.
Yeah, Appalachia, you can't beat it. There's a lot of good people. Charles Wesley Godwin is another one. He's a guy that pops up with them, and it's good. The guy that I just interviewed, who was in Zach Bryan's band and in Charles Wesley Godwin's band, he's put me onto a lot of good shit. Just listening to random stuff. That's a good episode, though. It's his birthday today, actually.
Who's?
Reed Connolly.
Oh yeah, he's the
Steel
he brought on
guitarist?
the steel guitar, right?
Steel guitarist, absolute ripper. Happy birthday to him. But okay, if you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why? I would think that your answer would be your father. But if it was not a loved one,
I was gonna say if it's not a loved one,
yeah, it's an assumed answer for people to say, like, you know,
yeah, because
a
it
parent-
would definitely be him.
yeah, a
if
parent
not.
or something like
Yeah.
that. But if it's someone that you don't have any ties to,
This is gonna be a weird answer.
you can't even imagine.
Rob Dyrdek.
That's not weird at all. He's literally a genius. I've been watching his shit on TikTok.
Very interesting person,
Dude, the way he like posts his schedule to maximize his time.
Dude, he's a robot.
mind-blowing.
He's literally a robot.
Well, he's like, you know, all those dudes.
He's
if
trying
you-
to live to like what 111 years old or something. He says,
Yeah, dude. But well, if you think about that, like, think of those dudes like you're Rob Dyrdek's, you're The Rocks, you're Mark Wahlberg's, you're people that are just like absolute moguls that don't have time to waste. If there's only 24 hours in a day, you ever read that viral post of Mark Wahlberg's day? It's like he wakes up at 3:30 a.m., prays for an hour, goes and works out, prays again, eats, fucking does all this. And then like he has like designated times where it's like times with the kid,
Yep.
45 minutes here. And it's like, that's the only way you could really live if you were
If you're
ripping that much.
that busy of a person.
Oh my God. Rob Dyrdek is such a good answer because he's definitely never been picked on here.
As someone that works 40 hours a week and feels busy as fuck most days, like
And just exhausted.
I don't know how people put that much into their lives.
Dude, how many episodes of ridiculousness are there?
Did you ever hear him talk about their schedule for that too?
Yeah, it's like 8 a day, and
Yeah.
you're like, "What do you mean?" I read it was just his anniversary with his wife, and it was just such a cool story where he was like, I guess, messaging back and forth on a dating app, and this chick was like,
Oh yeah, how the first date
the
where
rescue,
they're like the rescue.
He
yes.
fucking picked this bitch up on a helicopter
Yep.
and flew her there, and like adopted these dogs and got them all adopted. It's like
insane.
I don't know, dude. That's such a good answer. Such like a great answer because he would be.
That just popped into my head too because
fascinating.
that was the one question on your ending segment that I like couldn't figure out an answer to, and
Yeah.
he just popped into my head when you asked just now. So
That's a good
I feel
one.
like that's
dude.
a solid answer.
He's been hitting on Twitter a lot.
Growing up on him too, watching him on like
Robin Big,
and
Fuck
Fantasy
yeah.
Factory and
even
all that.
just like DC shoes and just like skateboarding. Like,
Yep.
I mean, imagine that dude's stories like from nothing to what it is. Man, that's a really good answer. It is. Are you like on social media a lot?
Scrolling, yes.
Yeah. Do you ever see him pop up on like his
I always
podcasts
get his
and
like
stuff?
podcast snippets popping up.
Dude, and everything that he drops is just like so logical and just like resonates.
He
where
seems
he's
like a real knowledgeable dude.
knowledgeable and just
Yeah.
like level headed. He's
Yep.
just like, this is a fucking chaotic life I'm living. This is how I'm living it.
Yep.
Love it.
But and to him, like it looks like chaos too from the outside looking in with how much he's doing.
Yeah.
But I feel like in his mind, everything has a reason and a purpose, and he's
million
not
percent.
wasting any time.
1,000,000%. It's like a symphony.
Yep.
It's like everyone in the symphony is like dealing with shit, but in the end, it's just like, you know, they know what they're doing and it's all coming together.
Yep.
Fantastic. What a great Dude, just
thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, dude. I'm pumped about this. I'm pumped about it because
Dude, nice shirt, by the way. I just noticed that.
Thanks, dude.
The
Appreciate
Sopranos
it. Oh
with the
yeah,
geese.
I forgot. You started the Sopranos. I think you started probably a couple months after I finished it for the first time. What a show, right?
What a show.
I mean, I feel like that whenever I'm sitting in the chair with you, we usually like talk about what we're watching, what we're doing. I haven't been watching much, but like
You've been reading a lot.
been reading a lot, but like there's a lot of good shows that like are older ones that I need to get on.
Dude, you watched
like,
The Boys?
No, that's one that you guys talked about.
Gen V, they got that spinoff out now.
There's that. I need to watch like Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul is great.
Yeah,
too.
like there's all kinds of good shit I need to watch. Now it's gonna be funny because tomorrow I'm gonna be getting a haircut by you. So if you fuck my head up,
Oak Hill.
yeah, we're gonna go to Oak Hill.
I was also laughing listening to Adam's podcast, and you didn't even like Oak Hill wasn't even on your radar yet because he's
I know.
talking about food at the end, and you're like this Oak place, and
Yeah.
Adam's like Oak Hill, and you're like Oak Hill Post.
Yeah, I mean that's
And
just
now you've
goes
had
to
them
show
on
you.
here a couple times, haven't you?
I've had them on there once, but like we're good friends with them now. Christian and Rebecca, their owners, like we'll go out to dinner with them and stuff because it's it just goes to show you like the people that I get to have on here and like talk with. It's just like really just that's how I pick the people that are coming on here. It's just people that like come across my path, dude.
Yep.
But Oak Hill tomorrow, pumped about it. If you fuck my head up, we'll hear about it in the conversation. We'll hear about it in the intro, and then we'll hear this whole conversation
I'm
after.
fucking it up just so I hear about it in the intro.
No, it would be funny. I honestly don't remember if I don't remember you cutting me too short. I feel like that I didn't. Was that recent?
Yeah, it was 2 appointments ago. I just remember trimming your mustache up, the long parts, not the part over your lip, but the handlebar parts. And afterwards, I went to twist it up, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a little short."
I'm glad that I didn't notice. Now in the beginning, were you like? Is there any part of like the process that like kind of that you don't favor? Like, is there something weird with like people's hair? Like, I watched this barber talk about he has like a crazy TikTok is fucking weird, dude. I watched because I was googling how to cut your hair at home, how to do a fade at home, just to like see what people were doing.
Right.
And this dude was talking about where was I even going with it? What was he talking about? What were we just talking about?
Cutting mustache is too short.
I don't know. Wasn't important, I guess. All right. Take a second, promote all your stuff, tell people where they could follow you, how they can get an appointment with you, the whole deal.
You can get an appointment with me at Mr. Grooming and Goods. We have online booking going now, or you can just call the shop, whatever works easier for you. I am booked out about 4 weeks at a time, so just take that with a...
It's deep.
Yeah, it's deep in there.
It's deep. Whenever the first time I started getting cut by you, I had to like I didn't come correct at first because I didn't know the process of it. But then I was like, when's like the next booking, stuff like that. And then you were like, listen, dude, just book out a long way. And then now I know the process. I'm booked out for like a year in advance.
Yep.
But I didn't know it was like that. I didn't know you got it like that.
It's almost like I almost don't like promoting myself because of that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like out looking for, because you tell someone like, hey, come see me for a haircut, and then they're like, what the fuck, dude? Like I was just at the doctor the other day, and the people at the doctor were like, can you cut my hair? And I was like, yeah,
Deep though.
but not tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, do you have people like, how do you turn down that? Like, dude, can you just like get me right real quick, even though you're closed? Like, do you have people that are hitting you up after hours? Probably not anymore.
Not really. I feel like
It's like, have some fucking respect.
I filtered a lot of that out.
That's good.
I don't do house calls. I will do house calls, but I tell people if you want a house call, it's $100 because one, I don't really want to do it.
Yeah.
2, if I do it, I want it to be worth my time.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I'm driving
I'm
out there?
I'm
Fuck
taking all my
that.
stuff from work. It's just a whole ordeal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good stuff.
And my Instagram also, real quick, is just Niles _DeVinney, NILES_DEVINNEY. I don't really post a whole lot on there though. It's mostly just stories of my dogs. So if you like dogs, come by.
Yeah, you don't post a lot about it. I guess you don't have to, right?
There was a point when dude, Instagram can be a full-time job if you let it. There was
know.
a time when I wanted to be like Instagram famous.
Like a hair influencer?
Yeah, like a hair influencer. But Them days are over. I don't care that much anymore.
It's just too much.
It's too much, yeah.
It's to have to want to remember to record everything and
Yep.
put it up there. Fuck
And
that.
clients don't want that either. Like, hey man, can I take a picture and record this whole haircut? You know what I mean?
That's a good point too. All right, we're gonna have one of them donuts that I brought home. Everyone else that's
I forgot about the
listening,
donuts.
appreciate you as usual. Each and every week, we're back with another great guest doing great things in the city. Thanks again. Call you right back.